Alright, so in your golf swing, Jordan, basically when you go to work on your golf swing, you have to get a couple things that address correct, okay? The biggest thing right here that I would see is your alignment, okay? You're going at the red target out here, and the red target is out in this direction over here, okay? So for you to hit it on line with a red target, you're going to have to come severely over the top or pull or hit a big hook to get it all the way over there, okay? So like you take a look here, I'm going to pull up, I wanted to see if I could, well, we'll show you, you see the big tree over here to the right? Okay, when we go back on the range, you're going to look at where that big tree is in comparison to where you're aimed. Okay? The big tree is about 70 yards to the right of that red pole. So we'll make sure that you get lined up properly. Okay? In your setup position here, from face on, you have a lot of good stuff going on. Your upper body is slightly tilted to the right. I like the width of your stance. Your left foot's slightly flared open. Your hands are starting just a little bit in front of the golf ball. But I can see your right hand right there is in a pretty strong position. Both hands are kind of in a strong position where it would cause you to either pull it or be very easy for you to turn it over. Might be something that we look at down the line of kind of neutralizing that right hand. The left hand's in a fairly strong position, but I like to take that right hand and get it more on top as opposed to underneath. Okay. And then at address here, I'd like to actually, today what I think is going to be the biggest thing is trying to get you guys properly set up so Mike can come in tomorrow and help you kind of really figure out your golf swing. Your address position right now, you have a little bit of what we call, you're a little bit vertical, and you have a little bit of an S back, okay? An S back is somebody that has their back really arched like that. It actually kind of stops the body from turning. It's almost too tense. So I'm going to bring up a picture here of, here's Jonathan Bird. You see he looks a little bit more, compared to you, he looks a lot hunched over right now, doesn't he? Okay? You see his upper body just kind of tilted, basically straight, where yours is really arched. So I like to see us get you tilted over more and start using a little bit more of your lower back tilt over here to get you more relaxed here. It just looks very tense, and it kind of causes you to swing more vertical in your swing. Okay? So we need to get you tilted over about halfway to the ground, okay, 45 degrees. I think that's going to be the biggest change we make is your alignment and getting you posture a little bit lower, okay? In your swing, when you take it back here, you see the club face there? Facing the sky. Are you familiar with how the club face should look at the top? That's actually closed. Yep, that's closed, and that's because of your grip. Okay, grip and how you're hinging it back there. So you might need to use some things in your like a swing guide at the top of your backswing. But you get a little bit long there. On the way down is going to be the biggest piece of the puzzle here. So you see on the way down, his initial plane line here, we want the club to come back down very close to that. So you watch him go up, and then on the top, from the top down, you'll see his hands come down that line or underneath it, and the club comes down. We want that club to come down right on that right forearm there. Yours is coming down, yep, over the top, and that's a lot because of how you're using your shoulders and your body. You have a tendency to hit the golf ball with your shoulders spinning, as opposed to your arms coming down. Okay? So from the face-on position here, what we're going to do is we're going to make you turn properly. And a lot of this is actually going to kind of work itself out just by turning properly. I'm going to draw a line here. And you see how when you turn, how you slide through those lines, right through that line there? Now watch as he turns here. See the difference between those two? Okay, so what happens is, when you slide, the right hip slides, it forces your arms up. Okay, so now you're up here, and you can't swing from the inside. You're stuck. So you to get from the inside, you'd have to do this. Way out like that, and drop it underneath. So what we're going to work on for you is you're going to take your setup here, going to get a little tilted forward, and we're going to work on your pivot, your right hip turning. Okay, your right hip needs a turn. Like if I just turn my body, where my right hip goes. So it's kind of behind me. Okay, yours right now is sliding a little to the right. So if I can get your right hip to turn, then your hands and arms are going to be over here, and you won't be able to go back so far. Then from here, you can go right to the ball, and you're coming from the inside. Okay, so we're going to work on, we call it gapping away. Yes, and when you put a stick there, I want you to go away from that stick. Okay, that's what that happens. The reason why that happens, you'll see when he turns back here, he'll stay right in between both of these. He's not actually going that way. It's just because when he turns his body, it narrows the body. Okay, we're more narrow this way than we are this way, so it creates a little gap there. That's the biggest thing in your swing. It's going to help you come from the inside. Okay, so we're going to work on your gapping away, and you're going to feel at the top of your backswing, it's going to feel a lot different because your upper body is going to be tilted like this still, as opposed to like that. Okay, because you start. Look at the difference. Look at your address position there, and then when you go to hit it, you're the other way. Okay, that's because of the right hip. Okay, so we're going to work on your posture here. What's the number one thing of all of the stuff I told you, though? Aim. Okay, we got to aim you correctly. Then we're going to work on your right hip gapping. Okay, we're going to create that gap right there. And what it's going to look like at the top of the backswing is going to look like a backwards K. Okay, that's what we're going to look for there. Okay, because the right hip, your upper body is going to be tilted still to the right.